Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Mac.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And we thought that after getting 300 board games, we could finally do our top 50.
Do you think we really have 300?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. I guess I have not counted the actual board games we have.
Well, see, it's deceiving because
One,
not all of them are
two.
here at this house. They're spread amongst your places. Our places.
That's true. We're probably, I guess you might have a better idea. I know you have, I think you have pretty much all of them.
Yeah,
your
I have
phone.
about mid 200s ranked.
Okay. So we might not have 300 quite, but we're close.
Yeah.
We're working our
Well, I
way.
hope we don't, otherwise I'm missing a lot.
We're working our way up there.
All right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to go through our top 50, 10 games at a time. We're going to start at 50 and go down to 41 today.
Yes. And also, check out our other video for a giveaway.
Oh.
It's one of the games that's on at least one of our top 50s that I know of.
I wonder who that is.
I don't know if it's on the others.
All right, should we jump into it?
Yeah. Who
Okay.
wants to start?
Lead us off.
Wow, looking at me.
Need pens to make notes.
Need to take notes on what? How bad my picks are?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for number 50, I've got Tiny Towns. I don't know if either of you have this one on your list, but I don't know. I just really enjoy the puzzle that is the game. It's really similar to a bunch of the polyomino roll and writes. It could have probably been something like that. Only you draw in, the different squares and then erase it. It could have easily been that as well. But I just really appreciate the different buildings and all the different ways you can score points. I'm always a sucker for when games change it from game to game, kind of what each thing does.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one, there were a lot of games that I had that did not quite make this list. So any given day, this might have been, in my 60s or whatever. But this one is what I was feeling at the time.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I'm a little sour on it because we haven't played it in quite a while, and that's because I'm probably sour on it. I just don't like it at 2 players, and for me that's kind of a deal breaker because we play a lot of 2-player. So I really did like it when we first got it, and now I just kind of feel like I've been pigeonholed into.
Is that because the first time I played it, you dominated, or?
No, I like polyomino shaped games
That's
and
true.
building stuff like that. I really do love that. What I don't like is that the players have control of what colors you get.
Well, yeah, but I would think then 2 players would be the best because you have 50% of the control.
You can
No.
just flip cards
Yeah,
to show you which one
I like it in that version better. But Zach is notorious for knowing what I want and choosing things opposite of that. So,
Wow.
all right. Well, my 50 is The Mind, which is a card game that we 3, I like playing it with you 3 best because we're very good at it. So it's
That
kind
is
of
true.
a fun, kind of like a in-between game, I would say. Just kind of challenges you, see how together you are if you can become one mind.
Yeah.
To that game.
Bit of a filler game that you, depending on how you do the first time, you may want to play again right away. But I guess if you get deep into the game, you may not. But yeah, it's a good filler game.
Yeah.
That was a good pick.
What do you got?
Wow!
Oh, this is going to be a nasty top 50. My number 50 is all of the exit games from Cosmos. I'm sure there's a lot of types of escape room games, but this is the ones we've played the most.
Yeah.
They're just different from everything else. They are one use, but they are decently cheap. But yeah, I think that's just an experience that's unlike any other game that we have. And I like puzzles, personally. If you don't like puzzles, it's probably not for you, but I do like them. And they can make you feel pretty smart and pretty stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had both, man. But yeah, I didn't even, because I had kind of looked at my phone, and I guess I didn't have any of that logged in there, any of those plays, so I didn't really even have that in my mind when I was making this list. I don't know that it would have made my top 50, but I do like what that offers.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel like, with most of them, it's good bang for your buck.
Yeah.
You get to have enough fun where I think it's worth the price, which isn't much anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we like escape rooms in general, so I think I could talk for all three of us on that. But so it's kind of just a way to do it without going out, which is, of course, their favorite thing to be able not to do.
I think, I mean, it's way cheaper than escape. I mean,
True.
For 3 people, you could probably get like 3 of them versus going to one escape room. I would think maybe 4 even. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it quite lives up to an actual escape room.
Sure.
But it is still pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next?
Number 49. You guys are gonna hate on this one too. There's gonna be a few here that you guys might hate on. So number 49, I have Root, which is another thing. I really enjoy asymmetric factions, but that also makes things very hard to play because, especially in Root,
changes the game.
Especially in Root, you either are gonna play as the same things every single time so that people can get used to what they're playing, or each game you're going to have to learn not a completely new concept, but pretty much a brand new thing. That's what I really like about it. I don't get to play it as much, and that's why it's that's why it's 49. I could see it probably dropping off if I never get to play it, but if I got to start playing it and playing the expansions and whatnot, I think it could go up.
I'm feeling very guilted right now.
Oh, it's not you that I'm looking at. It's Pepper. Never wanting to play it.
I was thinking
got
maybe
the
I'd
app.
make it my 2022 like New Year's resolution to learn all the factions in Root.
Well,
Because I know he wants to play this game so bad, and I do not
I'm
really
off the
like
hook.
it.
Well, it'd probably have to be 3 players.
Oh, that's
We gotta
right. You
play all
can't
of
even
them.
play 2-player.
Well, you know, I was hoping
Alright.
it'd be your 2021 resolution, and that's why it was on the 10x10. But so far, I've had to get the app, and all of our plays are solo plays. Our plays.
I'm not ready to take on Root. I've played the bird people, and I like them, and that's all I want to do.
That's not the worst
But
thing either.
we've only played it like 4 times, and we have every expansion out there. So,
Not everyone.
all right. 49, I have Lords of Waterdeep.
Ooh.
Wow. I would not have guessed that.
Yeah, I really like the game. I play D&D with my siblings, and so we actually did a campaign in Waterdeep, so it has a little bit of a personal nostalgia for me. I mean, I guess what D&D player probably hasn't played in Waterdeep, but I don't know, I think it's really cool. You know, you get to... I'm not a huge fan of the limited options in that game, and that's why it's kind of lower for me.
Limited options.
Yeah, you only get like 3 people,
No.
and you get what you get based on where you're going and what everyone else needs. So this can be a really nice game. This can be a really hard game sometimes. And we just don't play it much. I don't know why, because we played it a lot when they first got it.
Mm-hmm.
My brother has it, and so I really like it, and I think I might like it more if I played it more, but at the same time, I don't know that it has a ton of replayability for me, because it really is kind of the same things. It's just what comes out and when it comes out that kind of changes. So
I don't know. I think it's decently different because you can build those. I mean, depending on what I don't know if they're building. I don't remember what they're called exactly, but the things where you can build new worker placement spots. I find that really unique in the game because I'm already a sucker for worker placement. So when you're, I don't know. I think they have.
there are ones that are
Lost
better
Ruins of
than
Arnak
others,
and
though.
stuff.
So that's why I say,
Right.
yeah. It depends on what comes out, because it could be really limited if you don't get the extra resource ones, the tiles that come out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's still a great game, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say great game.
Wow.
I've only played it once, but I wasn't super thrilled.
I wonder where this is all headed. This is going to be a nasty.
Who do we think is going to have the
top
most in common? I thought it was going to be you two, but now I'm thinking it might be us two.
50. You're going to have Tiny
Could be us
Towns and
too.
Root.
No, we're not doing good so far.
My 49 is a Shem Phillips game.
Wow, he's finally coming around.
Who's Shem?
Who's Shem Phillips?
Wow.
Okay.
Who is
Noob! This is Viscounts of the West Kingdom. If we didn't just play this the other day, this would not have made the list, because I had only played it once before that. But when in that first play, I was like, this could be one of my favorites of the series. And it definitely is. I really like the rondel modular board going around. That's just, like, there's a lot of rondel games, but this one kind of just works the best for me. It makes the most sense, actually moving around a map, not just tiles out or something like that.
What are you taking a shot at, Glenmore, too?
Maybe.
But no, I agree with you.
But yeah, there's a lot of options. You can go to that middle castle. You can get a lot of those banners. You can go and build your buildings. And I like deck building. Probably going to see a few deck builders on this list. But like, yeah, I think this deck building kind of meshes with the game. One of the best of the ones we played.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that one's going up in my rankings of those specific games. I think it was really overwhelming at first, but I agree. Like, I love the way the rondel works. I love all the options you get to take. Just great, I think. Just great.
Well, I guess I would have guessed that for you guys, because I know you guys don't like paladins as much as I do. So I know you guys would never have that one on your
list. Worst!
But, wow, these guys.
Spoiler alert, it's not in my top 50.
It might have almost made my top 300.
Wow.
And we only have 250 games.
I see how it is.
All right.
So now I've got another one that I don't think you like.
Okay.
But Jesse does. He loves the paper money.
I'm questioning
He loves
this
the
one.
paper money.
Ooh.
I've
Monopoly.
got Coal Baron.
Oh.
That paper money is beautiful.
That's not a terrible game. I don't hate that game. I like that game, actually.
I thought you didn't really seem to like it the last time we played it.
No, I actually kind of like that one. We just don't play it much. I don't don't know why.
Yeah, I thought...
Let's get it out.
Yeah, if she's willing to play it.
Got her on camera.
That's fine. I don't mind that one. I mean, I know I gave you grief for the elevator piece, but that's just a piece. I don't think I have like too many qualms with that actual game. We just haven't played it much. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you like worker placement and pick up and deliver, so I would think it would be something you would like.
I do. I like filling those orders.
That's one of those that I really like, because I like the ones where you can always, well, not always, but most of the time, take actions even if they've already been taken. You just have to pay more workers to do it. So I like that in the game. And then I don't know that we've played it like 3-player many times. I think it'd be interesting to see how that actually affects the scoring. The 2-player one just seems kind of difficult, because it seems like when one person gets ahead in a certain category, and they just
kind of coast to victory.
So if you get kind of the better cars or types of coal or whatever, then you're pretty much guaranteed to win. But I really, really enjoy everything, or how that game all comes together as a whole package.
I think of all the games that have fulfilling orders, that might be one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That's good.
Coal Baron.
All right, my 48 is one that only I will have on my list, and that is Sagrada. I
have not played it.
I love the production of it. I think the small dice are so fun. You're building like stained glass. I love configuring, you gotta get the colors, but you can't have them next to each other, and you gotta watch the numbers, and you have like a secret goal you're going for and stuff like that. And so I like this game. There are some aspects that I don't like as much. I don't play it a lot, so that's why it's kind of, up here. But I think it's fun. It's pretty. I like the dice.
I do like pretty dice.
It has some neat little aspects to it. I mean, that are in other things, but I like how it's kind of packaged. So
I like how that one comes together. That's one that we don't. That's another one that your brother has. So it's another one we don't play that often. But yeah, I've enjoyed it when we've played it. It didn't make my list, but it's a really good dice game. And yeah, I like how the puzzly aspect of it, of trying to either get the numbers or colors that you need in the proper places.
Yeah, I look forward to trying it.
Might make the nacho average.
Oh, the
Board game tournament.
this guy's in charge.
I really had no idea where it was
Dice,
going.
dice, baby.
I was like, what's he trying to say? All right, Jesse.
Who knows what it'll make?
Hey, 48. This is the biggest shocker so far, for sure. For me, especially. This used to be my #1 game.
Dinosaur Island.
Dinosaur Island.
Oh my gosh! I thought that was gonna be his #1 or top 10 for sure.
When I was making this list,
I don't believe it. We got to start over. This is just a fluke.
wait, 48. I meant 4. Don't worry.
What
When
happened?
I was making this list, I just went one by one. My favorite, my next favorite, my next favorite. So I mean, it's a little geared towards the current hotness. But I just kept pushing it down.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just kept not picking it. I
Oh,
think
wow.
it's mostly because it is a lot to get into, and we haven't played it very often. And the last solo experience didn't go too well. I did not do good at all.
Oh,
But
wow.
yeah, I still think it is.
I'm trying to think of what his top 45 are going to be.
It's just gonna be a roller coaster from here on out.
Yeah, it's still a 10 out of 10 production for me with the art and the dice and dino meeples. And I think the theme comes across very well in that game. And it is also worker placement. I like how they do that. So it seems kind of negative because I thought this would be higher, but
Now I
I
see.
still do
Top
love the
50 is
game.
still good.
I still do love the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
You've played quite a few games, so top 50 still is really good.
I think if we played it more, it could definitely be much higher.
It's a good game. I'll agree with you. It's a good game, and I mean, I don't dislike it. So I don't know what it is. It's just one of those indefinable qualities where it's just not it for me, you know. But it's a great game, and I think it makes sense.
I think what hurts it to me is the lack of an insert. It just.
Hey, I made a beautiful insert for it.
You're
That's true.
downgrading it just based on how the box is organized,
Well, I mean,
which is absolutely 100% annoying. But
I fixed it. You
but-
gotta look in it.
Okay, I'll look at it now. I'm just saying it takes a long time to set up.
Oh, no, it wasn't. He said, no, we don't need to bring Dinosaur Island.
You were the one that said it. I
All
asked
right,
you. I'm
all
like,
right.
no wonder he seemed. Now I figured it out. That's why you didn't seem like we had to bring it.
this is
He's
not
like,
SmackDown.
I don't feel like doing it. Okay, we better get to 47
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Well, after that, Chuck, I'm going to let you go.
My 47, the first game better than Dinosaur Island. Alhambra. Again, there's a lot of things I love. I love tile placement. I think this one, it's a little restrictive, and you had to place them all in the same orientation, which can get very annoying and is easy to miss sometimes.
Right.
But my favorite thing about it is the money that you draft and paying exact change to get an extra turn, pretty much. And also, this was the game that I won to win, become champion of the first ever, whatever you call it, not show average board game tournament. It was in the finale.
That is true. That
I
is
came
true.
from behind and won it all.
So I see why it made
So
your
that
list.
moved up.
I see why it made your list. But yeah, I think I agree with you. It was one of those that was in my like 50 to 60 range. It could have made this on, if we had played it more recently. But yeah, I think the only thing that I don't like about it is, like you said, sometimes the walls and stuff get a little restrictive. It really kind of sucks when you have a certain type of money and you keep replacing it with these buildings that have like 3 walls and you already are like locked in, so you have to either spend turns to, I don't remember what it's called, reorient your place, but I don't know. Otherwise, I really like the exact change as well. That is my favorite part about it.
Yep,
I wish
I
that
agree.
was used in more games.
I was very glad when Zach brought this home. Not that I had any idea of what I was getting into, but I was glad he brought this game home once I played it. So, all right.
She's got no comments on it. I think she
47.
hates it.
This will also
Crossover.
This will also
On
be
the number!
only mine, and that is Lantern's Dice.
Ooh.
I have a love-hate relationship with this one because it really is the same game every time you play it. But I'm a sucker
it is.
for
I've
those.
only played it once.
I'm a sucker for the polyominoes. I love trying new things to try and, eke that score up there. Love building around the boats. I don't know. It's just, this one for me just goes up and down depending on what mood I'm in. Because some days I'm like, same thing again. But after not playing it for like 3 to 6 months, I'm like, this is great.
I think a lot of the kind of...
Poor Zach is the one who always has to play it with me, and he's just sitting here like, I love my wife, so I'm not going to say anything terrible about how much she makes me play this game.
No, it's fine. It just... I feel like I play the same thing every time, and I don't know if there's really opportunities for me to try something different.
Yeah, it's definitely a comfort game, I think, for me. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think a lot of the Android games are like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get a strategy in one of them, and you kind of do a lot of the same thing over and over. But not all of them. I think Cartographers is enough of a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll make a list later. But
Yeah, probably not. I wouldn't think so.
We're getting off topic.
Well, we almost had a crossover, sort of in a way, because I, at number 47, have Lanterns, the Harvest Festival.
Wow.
So the original Lanterns, the tile placement game, and card or set collection with the cards. I really, really like the whole look of the game. This is like one of the first ones we got.
It was
that one looks so
beautiful.
good.
It's beautiful.
It is. Yeah, and it was, like I said, one of the first ones that we got. So it just has a special place in my heart. It's kind of probably like that, not quite in the same way, but it can be a lot of the same strategy each time I play it. But I think this is one of my kind of comfort games that I enjoy bringing out, and it's a great one to teach to new people.
I feel like that one definitely got me more into like being more open to board gaming. I can't even remember now. We've had some of these for so long now. I'm like, I wonder what it was like when I first played that, because I cannot remember anymore. But I think that was one of the first ones where you really were like, hey, look, I got a new board game. And I was like, okay. So
yeah, I really like it.
All right.
What number are we on?
46.
Oh, mine 46.
46.
My 46.
What's the second one that's better than Dinosaur Island? Are you even ready for the Kickstarter to ever deliver for Dinosaur World then? Or?
It's never coming.
Come on, Pandasaurus.
I'm excited for it. That can be my 49. My 46 is Champions of Midgard. Just for the combat. The combat's so fun. I love rolling dice, fighting monsters, being a Viking.
I love that the combat is between you and the card. I love that there's no other player interaction on that. I love that piece of that.
Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's just a normal worker placement. Go get some food, feed your people. Uwe, influence, complete quests, all that. But I think it's all in the combat for me.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing where it's kind of a, I don't know, kind of risk it sometimes. As to how many people you want to send. Sometimes you want to try to spread them thin, but then you may not actually win the combats. It's kind of unique in that way, where risk it for the biscuit, or kind of try to get the for sure thing and possibly lose a bunch of Vikings in the process.
I feel like this one's too new for me to say.
I've only played it once.
Oh, wow.
So that's how much I enjoyed it. And I lost. So I must have enjoyed it a lot.
Andy enjoys it more than Dinosaur Island.
He's a better loser than I am, because I've lost this game every single time.
And it is on the bottom of her list.
It's not on the list. But I've only played it like 3 times. So, but it was fun. I will say it was one that I was not afraid to come to the table and try again. So, which for me is a very big thing
good
sometimes.
for you. We got the Jarl box.
Ooh. Now I see
Both
why
the
Jesse...
expansions.
He likes it even more than Dinosaur Island. No wonder he wants to get that played. Someone's going to have to do an unboxing.
I know. So 46, mine. Please don't hit me with your clipboards, because mine is Blossoms.
I want to hit myself with my clipboard.
It's hard to say why this one is where it is. It's kind of one of those other ones that can go up and down.
Can explain it.
It's for me. I liked it. It was one of the first 2-player games that Zach brought home. It's push your luck. You get to build pretty flowers. I love trying to configure. Trying to get up to the max amount of flowers you can. I absolutely feel like I have the same strategy every time I play it, which is why it probably doesn't get played very often. But I think it's just another one of those comfort games because it's literally one of the first games you brought home. And I think it will eventually, end up getting much higher in my ratings or whatever.
Higher as in better?
Higher as in, like, closer to 100 or 200.
We haven't quite played this enough. I think there's room for improvement.
No. But I think for now it's going to stay because there's not... Some of these other games, I just am not as comfortable with. So I think that's kind of why it stays where it is.
I understand that. There's a few games here that are definitely just more of a comfortable pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might not be the best thing ever, but it's nice for me. So.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Number 46. I've got my first Zach and Carson game of Tricky Tides.
Did you play them?
I have not.
Okay.
Your time to sell me on it. What you got for me?
So it is somewhat of a trick-taking game with pick up and deliver.
Yeah.
And and also like completing different goal card or not goal cards, but like filling order type thing. It's just I don't know what it is about it. I don't know that it is like amazing. But there's something about it that I just really enjoy. I don't know I don't know exactly what it is.
I feel like it's just so unique because you can only move in the way that your compass points to. And you have to follow the color of the compass. And
Sounds like the game plays itself.
Well, you don't have to follow the color. The color helps determine the winner of the trick.
Yeah. Okay.
But the only reason that I could see maybe...
You don't have to follow suit?
Huh? Well, you have to follow suit.
Yeah, that's the color.
Well, yeah. I just thought, like, you're not forced to, like, start with, you have to play a green card.
Oh, no.
But, no, it's, like, it's normal trick-taking, but I could see it being, it should even out, but, like, if someone were to get all, like, the 8s and 7s, they're going to have possibly a way better time because they're going to be able to move their boat whichever way they want. Because the way it works is the higher the cards... the more options of movement you have. So like the 1, you can only go like north or south or something. But then with...
Well, you sold me on that, Zach.
But then like the 8, you can go northwest, southeast, northwest, southwest, all the different 8. I just really like it.
All 8 directions.
All 8 directions. But no, I really like Tricky Tides. I think it's one you'd at least like to try.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of trick taking, but
how about tricky taking?
Tricky. I like tides. Okay, what are we up to next?
45.
45.
Lead us off, Maggie.
So mine is Raiders of the North Sea.
This is even more shocking than Dinosaur Island.
Is it too high or is it too low?
You'll find out.
Okay, well, I like this game. I've only played it like 3 times. I love the...
I really pulled my pants off doing
I didn't do that. I love the way the meeple, the worker placement stuff works. I think that's a really cool factor. I love getting the Vikings and stuff. I just struggle with the different layers going up the board, like determining what resources to get, because it can be limiting. Like if he beats me to 1, then I'm like, well, now what do I do? Because I was purposefully getting the items needed to buy or whatever raid that area, and now I don't know, so I'm gonna have to reassess. And so this one is just hard for me because I'm not a quick strategy thinker. Like I take multiple turns to like, okay, I'm gonna go for this specific one and I need to do X, Y, Z on my turns to get it there. And so when I get one, misdirection, I'm like, now I gotta start somewhere else, so I've got to rethink quick. And so that's just not my strong suit and not super fun for me. But I mean, I've only played it like 3 or 4 times,
One of her favorite games.
So I think there's a lot of room for improvement on it. It's just not for me.
Mhm.
Wow.
Definitely what a top 50 is all about. This is not for me.
I mean,
But it might be for you.
not for me as the other games are.
Yeah. No, I really like that one a lot.
I know you guys are in love with it.
Yeah, it's not on my list. Why would that be? Who knows?
Who
We'll
knows?
see. Yeah,
All right,
Katie,
who's
what
got
you got?
next?
Well, I have
We're gonna
another crossover
We're
with
gonna
her
cross
for
over.
Garfield
Never
Games with Explorers of the North Sea. So I think she probably is thinking what I'm thinking right now about what she just said about Raiders of the North Sea. So I enjoy Explorers of the North Sea. It's
We definitely
surprisingly,
are
three of my last four have pick up and deliver in them. So that's about what I think of that mechanic, I guess. It's about in my 40s to 50s.
Well, who
Pick
knows?
up and
Maybe
deliver.
every single one of yours is going to be pick up and deliver.
I feel like this might be one of the last ones. I guess I don't remember what else is on my list, but I like the tile placement and just going out and exploring the North Sea and picking up the little animals.
Yeah.
And just the different things that come up on the tiles where you can raid settlements or build the different things and whatnot. It's just something I enjoy, but it's not quite in my top tier of games yet.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I like that one quite a bit. It did not make my top 50, sadly. But yeah, it gets really tight though too with your actions. You do not have that many in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My next one is, I guess I don't know how to describe it. Just Kubitos.
Ooh.
A little dice pool builder race game. Been compared a lot to Quacks of Quedlinburg, and I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be buying your dice, and they each have different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know how many there are. There's like 5 of 8 different types. It's a lot of different abilities, a lot of variabilities, like 6 different maps.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, I like when a game does that and adds a lot of different ways to play the game.
Right.
I like racing. The art and the names on the different racers is interesting, I think Mac would say. Got a smelly cat, a cheese block with hairy legs.
There you go.
The
Right up.
disguised
I think that's
fish.
what you specifically asked for in a game, didn't you?
I did.
More hairy legs.
Hairy leg cheese man.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good pick. Did not quite make my list. Haven't played it enough yet, but I like it for all those reasons as well.
Yeah, I can see that one moving up. Let's see, 44. Is that where we're at?
Mm-hmm.
All right, my 44 is Viscounts of the West Kingdom. A little crossover here.
Wow.
So I really like this one. I think I've played it either as much or maybe 1 or 2 times less than Raiders. And like I kind of said already, it was pretty overwhelming, but I really like it, and I think it'll just continue to go lower and lower on the list.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
We've already kind of talked about it, so I figured we're good to go.
So at 44, I've got one that you're going to be a little disappointed at how low it is.
Oh, no.
I've got Cartographers, which is a flip and write, polyomino.
Is it pick up and deliver?
It is not pick up and deliver yet. I don't remember if
I
the expansions that I backed, I don't know if that has pick up and deliver. I don't remember.
I think you could probably almost take Zach's list and flip it upside down, and you probably have close to my list.
Yes, Tiny Town number 1, Route number 2. So it's going to be next year. No, but I enjoy Cartographers. It's got some variability as well for different scoring ways of scoring each time, but there's not. I wish there were a few more different ones. I hope
I just don't think we
has
make.
some of that, but
I don't think we make enough of a point to play different ones. Like I feel like there are probably still some in there that I have not played that much.
I don't think so. There's only like 4 of each, aren't there?
Okay.
There's not very many. I wish they had a few more.
They feel similar.
Maybe it's that.
I'm the lone woman on the couch here.
But no, I enjoyed the game still. I just wish they had a few more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll see if the expansion really messes it up. What do you got, Pepper?
My 44 is another surprise for me. I thought this would be a little behind Dinosaur Island, maybe 15th or something.
If you say Tapestry, I don't even want to know.
Tapestry? I didn't even make the top 100.
Probably viticulture.
Yeah, I don't think he likes viticulture.
Oh, really? What is it?
I didn't like viticulture then. I loved it, and then I don't like it as much now. But this one is In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Oh my god, Pepper.
I want this game.
Are you kidding me?
I want this game to be in my top 10. But I've only played it twice. That explains it.
That explains.
There's no
I've
more
got really
explain-
no love for this game, so.
She thinks that, it needs more.
Oh my god.
She's like, this
I
needs
don't
more,
know.
this doesn't have enough.
Maybe I need to play it more. I just
Oh boy, these guys.
I just felt
They
so...
don't even want to know where this is on my list.
I felt beyond stifled playing that game, so...
Oh boy.
I love the game. It looks great. And we don't even have the Kickstarter edition, but it still looks great. It's got great bits.
It is a good production.
It's got 3 parts to the game. It's got the cascading resource production, where you place a card and that produces its resources and all the ones underneath it, which I really love. That's really neat. It's also got polyomino placement where you're building your paths in this mountain, and it also has a little bit of pick up and deliver. Picking up your statues,
That is
putting
true.
them on
And delivering them
the...
to the pedestals. Or whatever.
Whatever the hell it is. But yeah, I think each of those 3, I don't think one really outweighs the other. They each have a solid place in the game.
I would agree. I love that pick. We'll see where it is on my list.
Go to 43. Mine is The Crew.
Ooh.
So it's a cooperative trick-taking game. I enjoy playing it with you, too. I think it's difficult if you don't have players that likely don't understand the game. 3 of us game so much that I feel like we have a good mental recognition of what the other players are doing, or can figure out, where their head was at when they laid that card, or what they're kind of thinking. I'm not such a fan of the fact that the book has to tell you what you have to get when, kind of thing, because that means you have to carry the book around with you, which, I mean, it's a small box, so it's not a big deal, but it's kind of just weird to me that you have to make sure you have that paper rule book in order to play the game.
Okay.
They like this game, spoiler,
I don't know.
and I don't dislike it, I don't know.
No, I just don't know if that's a huge deal. But
I didn't mean that it was. I just meant
Deal breaker. I gotta go like this at the beginning of every time.
I would agree with her if she had said, if it didn't have the small box it had like a Ticket to Ride size box, and she said, "Oh gosh, I don't know why it has this size box." I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think the size of the box and the smaller rule book isn't that big of a deal.
Well, it's not. I just meant the theory of having to play what the game tells you, and we don't play it consistently, so it's like, what mission were we last on?
She wants to make her own rules.
That's true.
I don't know.
You could probably just throw things out there.
It almost didn't even make the list, so let's just be happy it's on there, huh, boys?
We're being nasty to Mac. Let's be nice.
No, you're not.
I've got
I could take.
number 43 is another one you guys made fun of me for on my top 10 component list.
We'll probably make fun of you now.
Dice
too.
Forge.
Dice Forge.
You guys, this is the greatest component. One of the greatest components in a game is the dice. Yes, getting them off is tough sometimes.
So the greatest
getting them on is
one
terrible,
of the greatest.
The greatest component ever made is not perfect.
Okay, close to
and
perfect.
it's not even colored correctly.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, I love the way that you change your dice. It's the only game that I don't think any other ones change your dice. Basically, I think you can maybe get different dice instead of the ones you have, but I really like being able to alter your dice and kind of pick if you want to try to get a little bit of things on each one, or if you want to just load one up and have a bad one so that you always get at least one good thing. But
Figures he'd like this game. He's got it down to a T. He's got
Not
this
quite.
one figured out.
Well, I think I was playing
I
it.
don't
We were
think-
playing it wrong.
I don't think
that's
it's ever
so.
beat me.
Oh.
Wow,
shame.
rivalry. Now we're gonna have to get this game out. But I also like the fact that you
Dust
get
it
to roll the dice during everyone else's turn as well.
Mm.
I like games that allow you to get things during other people's turns to at least keep you
Space-
kind of in the game.
Space number 1, I see.
Didn't make the list. But Dice Barge is a great game. It's definitely one, if you're starting a collection, I would highly recommend adding it.
I haven't played that one. I've only played that like 3 or 4 times. I barely play any of these games. I'm not qualified to make a top 50.
You're qualified to make a top 100, and maybe 250.
250. Okay. Now, all these divisive picks. Mine is going to unite us all. I think we can all agree that King Domino is a great game.
Yeah.
We love it.
43, great game.
What are you
What
saying?
are you
That's
saying with
not-
that?
I'm saying I'm probably a lot lower than you guys.
It could have been. It was at
Yeah.
one point my number 6.
Yeah.
Yes, I keep track of all of these things. But yeah, it looks great. There's that. I really like the drafting of
Tiles.
where you order them by pretty much the worst tile to the better tile.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever picked the worst tile last round gets to pick first this round. I really like that. Oh my goodness.
Last doesn't go first.
Or no. No.
First
The
goes
worst
first.
worst tile gets first pick.
Yeah.
The worst tile is just going to be the best tile.
Yeah, that's what I said. Whoever took the worst tile last time gets to
No.
pick first.
No, they
This
don't.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah,
worst
I guess
tile.
the
The
worst
worst
would be
tile.
the
Not the
top
highest.
one, yeah.
The top one, yes.
Whew.
Okay, here we go.
Here we
That was an
go.
important distinction for our audience.
They need to know.
You need to know how to play. This is what we teach you. 150 games in this series.
Trying to remember. Have we done videos on King Domino?
Yes, me
Yes.
and Abby did them.
They play.
No, that's why I don't.
Go
remember.
check out our videos on King Domino. You can watch me and my sister face off because we like this game.
Ooh, so it might be on her list.
Might be.
Considering these other ones she didn't even like yet. She's not
Um,
into the good games.
I think it's really satisfying building out your kingdom and
Mhm.
getting just the perfect tile. And the scoring is simple.
Mhm.
It's just your crowns times the spots in that area, but it is also very exciting.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Scoring them up.
Yep, I would say this is a recommend for your board game collection.
It didn't make my list.
He's just so cool. He can't have any easy games on there. He's got to be
He's
hardcore.
like, well,
It
I've moved-
was
He's like,
one
I've
of those that was in my
Instead, he
next
puts
tier.
Dice Forge on it.
It's like, I've played it 3 times.
Wow.
I'm moving on.
Wow, I have played it way more than 3 times.
Yes, he has. That's probably what's on this list. All right, 42. I have Dominion. It's a deck builder. I haven't played it that much, but I've come to realize that I very much like deck building a lot. Which
Ooh, she dreams about it.
I did during Clank Legacy.
You've got to play Dune Imperium.
So
That is true. You did dream about Clank Legacy.
I did. So I mean, I guess it depends. It probably depends on the game, really, for the card, or deck building or whatever. I like Dominion and stuff. You really are just doing simple card
It's very bare
stuff.
bones.
So that's exactly. I like the mechanic. I like the variability because we have multiple options in the box and stuff. So I really like that, and I think it's fun to play. I just would probably prefer a different deck building game with more meat for it. So.
All
Talk
the
about-
expansions.
Talk about... Oh, we're hooked for life, Mac.
On
We
what?
get all of the expansions.
Yeah,
Hundreds
the
and
expansions
hundreds and
Dominion
hundreds
has.
I need to
and
make a
thousands.
video about expansions, and when people say this game has, like, Alhambra has 18 expansions, I go,
Oh, give me the
I
expansions.
go, no. If I like a game the way it is, I'm like, don't mess with it.
Speaking of expansions, one that has an expansion on Kickstarter, it won't no longer active, but they just had it.
Did you
is
back it?
The Isle of Cats.
Oh, he didn't back it. I may have.
So, at number 42, I've got the Isle of Cats. I wasn't sure if this one was going to make it for me or not. I really like the whole production of the game. I love the size of the polyomino cats and the different colors, the different boats, or the way the boats are, and I don't know, the coloring of everything just is really, really beautiful, I think.
It's
I really
a
like
beautiful production.
It is.
the whole game. I think this game would be higher for me if, I don't know, and maybe with the 3 minute, it's the 3 minute box now, right?
Yep.
So maybe that'll make it better, but I feel like the setup and stuff, this is another one where it hurts it, in my opinion.
I think mostly just the cards, setting up
Right,
the deck.
the cards
With
is
the different
that's what I'm
modules.
talking about. So if you want to play the same cards every single time, I think it's not that hard to set up, but I think that's the part that always gets me. So I don't. Hopefully it'll make it.
I never have to
better.
set up, so I've got no
She never
qualms
knows
about
how this
that.
works.
But
But
interesting.
otherwise, yeah, I really enjoy. It kind of has a little bit of an easier Terraforming Mars feel because you have to buy the cards you want to keep.
Easier terraforming Mars feel.
But
That is pretty simple.
but I think at the same time, another thing that I kind of still not sure of is like some of the goals. I just don't feel like in this game that I buy the gold
my
cards
God,
that much.
it's the first time you're hearing it, but I hear this every day. It's like the gold cards. Come on.
We can just play
Okay,
it,
I know
Jesse.
whose list is going to be on, so he'll talk about it later.
All right, Jesse, what do you have for 42?
Get ready. Get ready for a fist bump.
Okay.
Crossover on the number Dominion.
Ah, me and Pepper.
Well, it ain't gonna
Hey,
be
you feel left out
It,
now,
ain't-
don't you?
it isn't going to be a three-way crossover on this list.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Or any of them.
Okay, Scrooge.
It's good.
Like you said most of it. It's very simple, very easy to get into. And that can hurt it maybe a little bit sometimes. There's no theme at all.
I think it's because we played other deck building games before we played
yeah.
Dominion instead of going to the Big Daddy and then you
Yeah.
know to these little branches. So
Yeah,
that probably
probably would have been a better idea.
yeah.
Start with the first. But yeah, like I said, I've already had Viscounts on here. I love deck building. I think this is another great one. And yeah, there's just so many ways, so many different ways to set it up. And yeah, talk about having to go to the book. You got to look in the book every time to see what cards to use,
I don't
what
set it
cards to
up.
put in here.
Well, you could probably put up whatever you want.
You
See what
could.
happens.
You
Yeah.
could, but
But yeah, I think if you played this a lot, you would know.
Yeah.
Like something that seems reasonable to set up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good game. It's another one. I just had a lot of them right around here. There was like 20 to 30 games that just pretty much missed out, and it would have just been based on my feeling for the day. Like they could have
yeah.
maybe made it.
Yeah, I think probably my 70 could be my 40, pretty much any other day.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of where I'm at on my 41 because I really struggled with this one because I feel like there's some newer games that I've played that I'm like, I feel like probably could have gotten in here, like Circadians, or even like Kubitos, I thought maybe. I've only played it once. I'm trying to think if there was any other like newer ones. Or like Maracaibo. I thought, you know, these could kind of jump in here. And so I
Wow.
struggled with this one because I was like, it's a good game. I've never won the flipping game. Maybe once against Abby. And it just, it breaks my heart because I love the component of it. I just cannot figure it out against you two.
Ooh.
And so I think
I know
that's what just, it just tears me
Is there a
apart
number
to
in
play
this
it
game?
sometimes.
Downfall?
No, it's I've won that game more than once. It's Gone Shown Clever or That's So Clever. So I love the dominoing
That is
aspect
just like
of it.
Maracaibo.
It's not. See, that's what's so hard, you know, when you're ranking these. It's so different than Maracaibo. But, you know, it's like, where do you put it? Because I feel like I know this game so much better than I know Maracaibo. And so it's like, I just don't know. And so I like this game, you know, someday, when after I lose, I'm like, I'm never playing this again. So, because I literally just never won. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think that was probably one of the first big roll and write games. I think that's for a reason. It's a great one.
Yeah, I love it. It's so great. Everything goes together. The dice, the picking, the dominoing. I love it. But I can't win it.
Maybe next time.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, I
next
lose by like at least 100 points. So maybe never.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It didn't make my list, but
it's okay.
I got some other ones.
I
do
What
like
games
how
do you have on your list?
I do like the bonuses. I do like the bonuses in that game and
Yeah.
trying to chain them. That
just
is awesome.
kills me because I
do love
can't
that.
even win it, and Zach's like, I don't even like it, and he wins it every time.
No, I like it, and I like the way they combo together.
Yeah,
So.
just not as much as me.
Number 41. I've got one. I don't know that either. I don't know how much you guys like this one. I've got Arboretum.
What?
It's
what?
It has a very similar type of feel.
Higher than Explorers of the North Sea.
Higher than Isle of
Lanterns,
Cats.
Higher than Coal Baron.
Well, it was just feeling it that day. When I made this list, I'm like, I'm just feeling this game.
I'm thinking,
I haven't played it in a while.
about leaving right now.
I am shook to my core.
There is just something about it, and it's a very similar feel to Lost Cities, where I like the having to keep cards so the other players
I'm
can't get them,
speechless.
but then also like playing or keeping cards for yourself to try to hopefully make your chains a little bit better. And the whole package of the game, the artwork is amazing.
The artwork is beautiful.
And it's just another interesting puzzle where it's like you could try to get like the first and last of a certain color to try to get a chain with another color possibly. But then at the same time, it's like if you don't keep your high cards, then you don't score them. That is awesome. That's the only game I know that like scores that way, where you not only have to get stuff out on your own tableau to score, but you also have to keep stuff to score it. That's what, in my mind, makes it a little bit better than Lost Cities.
A little bit better. Oh my god, I thought you were going to redeem yourself having that higher up.
It was another one that was in my list, and
But
no, Arboretum, awesome. I will say I wouldn't get it if it's like one of your first games because
it's a little
it can be
tough.
Tight. It's a very tight game, and it can be somewhat challenging.
I mean, if you can have in a game where someone's like, I'm just going to hold on to this card so you score 0 points. I don't know, that just is... Yeah, it can be nasty. You can have a bad experience. But
and it's not even one card. A lot of times you have to hold 2 in order to get, like 4 plus 3 or whatever to get 7, because I have the 7 or the 5 or the 6.
There's something about that I love.
I married the devil.
Wow.
So evil.
Well, on that note.
How many times in Gons have you kept the white die so I couldn't use it?
That's not as vindictive.
Very similar.
That's not as vindictive. The
that
white
is
is
the
wild.
same situation. You're like,
all right.
That's a one white, but
You're
I don't
wrong.
want him to have the white, so I'm going to use it on this. I'm going to use it on my orange column, so it just scores me 1 point.
That is not how Jesse wins. I guarantee it.
I was talking about you.
Oh, I don't do that. I'm trying
Thank you for saying I win. Thanks for throwing that in there.
I would not do that. I'm trying to win. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just shook. I've got nothing to say about that other than I disagree totally.
Controversial split pick, I guess.
Do you have anything to say about Castle Panic, Mac?
I've never played this game, so I will refrain from commenting.
Well, that didn't make my top 50.
Oh, okay.
No, it did. It's 41 Castle Panic. I don't know. It's a more family weight game, some would say, but I just like a good... I've played it solo probably like a dozen times. We played it a couple times on Tabletopia, and it really does... That's a good name for it, because as you are defending your castle, you do start to panic. As those... I don't know what they are, orcs and trolls come towards your castle and get closer and closer and closer, and you're not drawing the right cards to be able to hit them. You're drawing archers when you need swordsmen.
Right.
But then maybe sometimes a boulder comes down and wipes them all out.
Right.
And sometimes it misses and just takes out your castle. So it's a little swingy, a little lighter game, but I do like it quite a bit.
Yeah, and that's the cooperative one, right?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple modes. You can play cooperative, 1 versus all.
I think you might like it if you played it. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't exactly remember it, but I do remember liking it. It's an interesting game, but it's another one of the
hundreds of dollars
ones,
for
so
that new Kickstarter.
Hit or miss for you.
Probably a miss.
I think you'd like it.
But yeah, those were our 50 through 41. looks like we've got a lot of differences. You guys are sort of on the same page. I am apparently way out in left
Did we have
field.
two together?
What did we
Dominion
have?
and Viscounts?
And Viscounts, yes.
And I've got none so far.
You
I think
have
these are
matched
going
us
to match.
100% for games off your list.
I'm winning.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? So far, so good?
Who had the best 10 so
you
far?
think there'll be any shockers?
Well, there
We
was.
had one huge one today. What's next time?
I don't even remember what's in my next 10. I probably have a shocker.
Join us next time.
Yeah, check out our next 10 in our top 50 of all time.
Yeah. And
Keep on nibbling.